Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new video on DomTalksTech. So AI is absolutely everywhere and it's changing the way we work, the way we think and the way we create. But how can you use the AI tools to become more effective in terms of your productivity? In this video, I'll show you exactly how I use ChatGPT daily, and I'll break down what generative AI really is, and I'll also share some of my best tips and tricks for getting the most out of your AI model and crafting some really powerful prompts. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up, what is generative AI? Generative AI is absolutely everywhere at the moment, but some people might not properly understand what it is and actually how it can be beneficial and useful in your day-to-day life. So generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that can create content, it can create text, images, code, and even create videos. Generative AI is a model which is taught and it learns on massive data sets to recognize patterns and generate human-like responses in its outcome. Some of the examples of big generative AI models is OpenAI's ChatGPT, you've got Google's Gemini, you've got Claude AI, and you've also got DeepSeek, which is the newer Chinese model, and you've also got xAI, that's Elon Musk's company's Grok 3, which is available on the platform X. So as an analogy, the way to think about generative AI is it's like a supercharged assistant that reads millions of books and can instantly summarize or generate an outcome or idea for you. So it's like having a super intelligent brainstorming partner which is available 24/7 to ask any questions, to assist you with productivity and to generate content that you might find useful in your life. So I'm going to show you in this video how I use ChatGPT to help me in terms of my YouTube channel, my daily life in balancing the SQE and work, and also how we might be able to get some really good prompts for your use cases which might assist you in your day-to-day life. Okay, in this section of the video, let's talk about ChatGPT specifically and how I use it. So jumping onto the desktop of ChatGPT, you're greeted with this brand new chat section like this, and there's a load of different controls which I'm going to talk you through in this video. So if up here you can select the model that you want to use for ChatGPT. So this is selected the 4.0, which is great for most questions, but it is one of the reasoning models in the lineup. So if we ask the model, let's put this into the chat and see what the outcome comes up with. So again, I specified that its role and what I want it to do. And I've also given it instructions that I want it to give me the pros and cons and the conclusion about whether it's worth it for me. So that's the prompt on this model that I've asked it to do. So you can see it's come up with some pros, some cons, and you can also see it's searched the internet for various different links, and it gives me these links to the different websites where you can dive in to those websites and find out a bit more information about those as well. Let's jump into a new chat. So you've got the 4.0 with scheduled tasks. You can use this a bit like a to-do list at 10 AM. And so you can ask it a task, it will create a task, and then it will remind me at 10 AM tomorrow, and that will give me an alert just like you would a normal task manager. What all we've got is the 4.5. This is a far more personal model. It's not a reasoning model, and it's a far more more powerful version for creative writing, and it's far more personal in the way it responds with you. So you might want to say something like, "Hey, how are you?" So there you go, the response, you can see it's far more personal in terms of the output, but it also, because I've got the memory feature on, it knows about what we've been up to, about talking about AI, tech news, that I work at Mitchell as a trainee solicitor, and also that I've got the YouTube channel DomTalksTech. So you can see it's far more personal in the way it responds to you. You've got emojis included there. It's great to have a one-to-one conversation if you're discussing something. This model might be the perfect one to do that. You've got the three last models here. They're O1, O3 Mini High, and O3 Mini. So O1 is a much more powerful reasoning model, and this is great for mathematics questions, science questions, and coding, and it's a bit more of a powerful reasoning model to put something into. And then we've got the fairly new models. You've got O3 Mini and O3 Mini High. This is a more fast model for reasoning, and it's more powerful than the O1 in terms of its capability. And O3 Mini High, again, is a much more powerful model. It's the most powerful reasoning model in the lineup at the moment. And this is great for coding and logic here as well. One that you might want to put into an O3 Mini High is this question here. So analyze whether water could be considered a living organism. Break down your response using 3 frameworks: biological definitions of life, systems theory, and the philosophical perspectives. This is a really more complex question. You're asking it to kind of do some deep diving into the points that you've asked the AI tool to do. So let's see what response it comes up with here. And you can see it's reasoning and it's thinking about the question. In a minute, it's going to tell me its step-by-step approach about what we're asking it to do. So it reasoned for 10 seconds, and then it's going to break down into the points that we've asked it to do a really clear guide of the biological definitions, systems theory perspective, and then the philosophical perspectives as well, and then come up with a conclusion. So this is a really powerful model of thinking about a question very carefully, the kind of context and different points that you put into it, and it also then tells you how it's reasoned. And you can see here it thinks about what you've asked it to do before it actually provides the answer. A couple of different features here that you might want to think about. You can upload a file, upload a photo, take a screenshot, take a photo and search the web. And you can also turn on search here as well. And ChatGPT will give you some trending points that you might want to search. So we could just look at Cheltenham Festival 2025 and it will search the web for the Cheltenham Festival within this chat. And there you go, you can see it gives a breakdown of the Cheltenham Festival, and that's just from the search button. There's a couple of different prompts that you might want to use and ask about. But you could also use it for a load of different things. You could ask it about what is. And again, it knows what you've asked it to think about here, and it tells you the weather at Cheltenham Racecourse, which is going on at the moment. So that's a great feature of the search function. This button down here is deep research, and this is a very, very powerful tool within any of the ChatGPT AI models. And you can get the large language model to think a bit more deeply about the question that you've asked it to do. And so rather than providing you with a response relatively quickly, it will use far more time to search the internet, to look at different resources and different research points, and the actual outcome of a deep research can take between 5 and 30 minutes. So you might want to use this when you're doing some research at uni, whether you're doing some research for an outside project that you might be working on. This is a very, very powerful tool to get a full and coherent answer and response from the ChatGPT model. And you've also now got recently the work with function as well, so you can actually use ChatGPT to work with different apps here. So you can use it to work with Notion, to work with notes, and there's also to work with the script editor and terminal and text edit there as well. If you don't want to type, you can also dictate your prompts into the chat box there, and you can also access the advanced voice conversation within the chat here as well. I might want to use ChatGPT as to help me with managing my timetable and to fit in all my studies around the SQE and other commitments that I might have in the week as well. So you might prompt like this: can you create me a timetable to focus my SQE revision? I've asked the model to search the SRA website for the specification and create a 7-day timetable which focuses on revision, provides lunch, break and dinner, breakfast and dinner, and also thinks about time for YouTube and exercise. So let's post that and see what the model comes up with. So you can see here it's focused its search on the SRO website first, and it's come up with function and legal knowledge 1 and function legal knowledge 2, which is absolutely correct. And then you've got breakdown of actually what the points consist of. And then it comes up with a timetable of what I might want to do to focus my days. The app is these projects here. So if you want to organize any of the chats that you've got down the side here, you can actually use the projects folder to organize yourself as well. And so you can create a project name, and you can also label it a different color. And then all of the chats that you have within those projects can be saved there, and they can talk to each other so that they know that they're within the same context of that particular project. So you can see here, I've got a project for my SQE Customer's Qualifying Exam, and I've also got a project for this YouTube channel, DomTalksTech here. So if I want to use ChatGPT to help me with some creative juices, then I can use this DomTalksTech chat to actually assist with that. So I want to show you is actually the Canva feature. And this is really great because you can ask it to come up with a piece of writing and you can edit the document as well as the AI tool. So we might want to give it a prompt like this, which is write me a story based on text SEO, make it exciting, engaging, capture the reader's attention, include a title and provide the response in Canva. So if we put this into the chat, it's then going to start writing and open up a sidebar in Canva and you can see the AI tool writing the story for me, and you can see that we've still got the chat function here, but the AI tool is writing in a separate Canva, and it's giving me different sections of the story. So we'll just let it follow through and write this storyline for a second. Okay, so it's finished and it's called it the algorithm. And again, I've not really created it any huge prompt here, and I've left it to the AI tool to come up with the storyline. But the powerful thing about Canva is you can actually edit the Canva as well. So you might want to add in your own bits, and you and the AI can actually amend this document together. And again, you can actually ask the AI specific points about this. Can this section be refined? And that's me asking it specifically about this point. How can we refine this section a little bit more? And you can see it's amended it right in the Canva. And you can close it. The Canva will stay within the chat here, and then you can also open it up and start the Canva session again as well. And you can message the Canva and say, this is not exactly what I was looking for. Please make it shorter and more to the point. And you'll see it's going to edit the Canva document here right in front of you, and it's going to go through in a second and it will amend the document based on the instructions we've just asked it to do. Okay, so specifically in this section of the video, I'm going to talk about how you can make your prompts even better than they are already. And there's a couple of different well-researched methods to improving your prompts for the AI. And this has become a very, very powerful skill in itself called prompt engineering. And so prompts are very, very important when using generative AI tools, because the generative AI tool is only as good as the actual information that you put in it. So to do that, there's some helpful methods and tips that I'm going to share with you today that will get the most out of that AI tool. Most people don't realise that AI is not magic. It is not going to do everything for you or know what you want to get in terms of the outcome. But if you use these tips that I'm going to show you, then you'll get a much better result from that AI model. The first one we're going to talk about is the model called Risen. That's R-I-S-E-N. And I'm going to break down what that means for you. So the R is the role. And so the first point of call is to actually assign the AI tool a role and tell it, you are a legal expert, you are a social media manager. Tell it the actual area that you want the AI model to focus on. The next is I, that's instructions. So give the AI model a set of instructions of what you want it to do. So how do you want it to respond? What things do you want it to do as part of its instruction? Break it down step by step for the AI model to get a better outcome. The next is S, that's steps. Break your instructions down into specific steps. How do you want it to do it? So even number them, so go first I want you to do this, second I want you to do that, and lastly I want you to do this. Break it down and explain it in detail for the AI model, and then you're likely to get a far better result from it. The next is E, that's expectation or end goal. What do you want out of the AI tool when you're providing it with a prompt? So what do you want it to achieve? Tell the AI model, I expect this, or set aside the outcome that you're expecting from that AI model to come to you with the end goal. And then the final one is narrowing. So create a boundary or a set of instructions where the AI tool doesn't go. So tell it to maybe perhaps some certain word limits, or you want the tone to be in a certain style, or you want to use specific examples. The narrowing is really important, and it actually helps tailor the large language model to make sure that your outcome is as powerful as it can be. And you can do as many narrowing points as possible. You can tell it that, look, I want 300 words, I don't want you to do something, and then therefore you're setting a parameter for the AI tool to focus on. Another powerful method of prompting is the anatomy of an O1 prompt, which is something that was actually released by OpenAI in one of their press releases. It follows a very similar structure to that Rise model that we talked about earlier, but follows a goal, the return format, the warnings, and a context dump. So the goal, again, what do you want it to achieve? The return format, how do you want the AI model to respond? What do you want it to do? How do you want it to address the point that you're making? Those warnings, they're very similar to that narrowing, that kind of breaking down a parameter. Do not do this, be careful to do this, or make sure that this is correct. And so that kind of helps steer the AI tool in the right direction. And then the context dump is the final point. So include as much information as the background as possible. So specifically, if you're doing something where you've got a large document, include that document as context for the AI model, and then you're likely to get a far more powerful response from it. I'll leave a link to this specific photograph in the description down below, because I think it's very, very helpful to have available to you when you're using an AI tool and you can think about structuring your prompts correctly. So I hope you enjoyed this whistle-stop tour into AI and generative AI and some of the best prompting techniques that I use to assist me with actually using ChatGPT on a daily basis. AI is a tool and it's great for productivity and for creativity, and it can be used as a leap pad to actually get those creative juices flowing. The quality of the AI depends on the quality of the prompts, as we discussed in the video, and it's also important to make sure that you check the actual output to make sure that it's right. Hopefully with these prompts, it increases the way you use AI and it helps you to narrow those specific points down. But if you've got any questions or queries about using ChatGPT or any other AI model, then let me know down in the comments below. And also tell me how you use AI and what could I be doing that might assist me in terms of using AI, but also what things does AI help you within your daily life. If you found that video useful, then hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, then do feel free to hit that subscribe button, as it really does help boost my videos for more people to see. There is a podcast episode coming out next Wednesday, which is a really deeper dive into all things AI, some discussion about AI in the workplace, and it focuses a bit heavier on the AI content. So if you want to listen to that podcast, 120 Hertz, a podcast by DomTalksTech, is available on all major streaming providers next Wednesday. So look out for that. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.